Hello and welcome to Divine Harmony Ascension. I'm Abigail. I am a certified holistic yoga instructor, and today I would like to share with you 5 tips for cultivating a consistent movement practice. So these are some tips that I've learned just kind of throughout my journey and my process, and these things have helped me a lot with cultivating the consistent practice I have now. Of course, I'm still learning and growing, as I always will be here, but I thought I would hop on and share with y'all some of the tips that have really helped me really develop a consistent movement practice. So I'll start with just kind of sharing a little bit about my journey, see if you resonate here. So I started about 8 years ago is when I found yoga. I was having chronic migraines and kind of looking to start getting into movement. And it really wasn't up until 3 years ago that I started getting consistent. So for the first 5 years, I would, I think most of us have been through this roller coaster as well of, you start, you're getting going, you're doing good, and then something happens, you get sick, or something comes up, and just one thing after another, you fall off the wagon, you just kind of lose track, and then once you lose that momentum, it can be so hard to really get going again. And I struggled with that for about 5 years, and I was struggling a lot with my weight and stress and everything as well. So about 3 years ago, I joined an online yoga studio. But really, what has helped me? So we'll get into the five tips. So the first tip that I have, and I discovered this about 3 years ago, and it was really the first thing that helped me a lot, was shifting my mindset. So tip number 1 is to shift your mindset from exercise, or I like to say movement. So exercise or movement, from doing it as a need to fix your body or fix something about yourself, seeing it as a chore, and really change it into, you're doing this to love yourself, to support yourself, and to really have a relationship with your body. So it's really shifting from that perspective of I need to fix my body to I want to have a relationship with it. And ultimately that you can kind of feel into that. It feels a lot more loving to just really accept that there's nothing wrong with your body or where you're at on your body healing journey. There's nothing wrong with your body. You don't need to be fixed. It's just some things aren't feeling right to you, and you want to make some adjustments. You want to make improvements. We want to grow. We want to change. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But what really helped me a lot with cultivating consistency was that first step of shifting my mindset from I need to fix my body to I want to have a relationship with my body. And that really allowed me to relax and be able to kind of move forward from there. So that goes perfectly into my second tip. So tip number 2 is to find movement that you genuinely enjoy. It's going to be a lot easier for you to remain consistent with exercise, movement. I like to use the word movement instead of exercise. I feel exercise can kind of have a lot of charge to it, and I prefer movement. It feels more relaxed and peaceful for me. So when I say movement, that's kind of what I'm meaning. But anyway, back to our tip. It's a lot easier to get consistent at something that you really enjoy. If you've decided, for example, you want to go to the gym and lift weights, and then you go and you find you hate it, well, you're not gonna continue. You're not gonna be very motivated to continue with that kind of practice or routine if you hate doing it or if you don't like doing it. So really finding something that you really love and you really enjoy and you really look forward to doing is going to help you remain consistent, because then when things happen and you get off track, and life happens, so things, there are things that will happen. It's going to be a lot easier to jump back into it if you really genuinely enjoy it and you're wanting, and you fall off track and you want to get back into it. It's going to be a lot easier if you really love what you're doing. And this is also a point important. So if you are just now getting into your movement journey, wanting to move your body more and find something that works for you, it's okay to have a period of time to really explore before you really commit to doing a consistent practice, really cultivating consistency in your movement practice. It's totally fine to just take the time you need to really start exploring different ways and find how your body wants to move, what feels best for you to move, what forms of movement feel best for you, because what feels good for someone else might not be the same for you. I'm somebody who I really just love yoga. I've tried resistance training and Pilates and dance and different things, but yoga is what I genuinely enjoy and what I come back to. That's why I became a yoga teacher as well, as I really genuinely love it. It's really easy for me to pick it back up when I have things come up and I have to take or if I just need a break for the day. It's a lot easier for me to return to that, whereas other things like resistance training, I honestly don't care for it. It's a wonderful form of movement. If that works for you, that's wonderful, perfect, great. It just not my cup of tea personally, but it is a wonderful way to connect with your body and move as well. There's not necessarily one that's better than the other. It's really just finding what feels best for you and your body. Any bit of movement helps. So moving on to tip number 3. So tip number 3 is to set yourself up for success by starting small and building from there. So this gets into like goal setting, like really setting attainable goals for yourself. If you currently live a very sedentary lifestyle, you don't do anything right now, and your ultimate goal is, let's say like 5 days a week you want to work out, go to the gym, get on your mat, whatever. If you're currently doing nothing and you want to go to 5 days a week and you start with that, you are going to fall off of that. Just to be frank, you're going to fall off of that, because in order to really get up to there, there are smaller steps to take to get up to that goal. So there's nothing wrong with coming up with like your ultimate goal or where you want to be at. That's great, that's wonderful, but it's also important to break it down into really manageable goals. You want to set yourself up to succeed, so going from nothing to everything that's not sustainable. It's also not very compassionate for your body as well. If your body's used to not doing anything and then you're just all of a sudden doing everything, you're likely also going to get like really sore, burnout. You're just not going to want to do it, and it's not a very sustainable way. But if you were to instead just do 1 day a week and start with that, or even like what I did when I wanted to start with a consistent yoga practice, I started doing a daily practice for 10 minutes. I just rolled out my mat and I either did some asana, some postures, or some breath work or a meditation, and I just did 10 minutes. And then I did like 10 minutes for a week, and once I felt good with that, I increased it to 15 minutes. And then we did 15 minutes, and just kind of built from there. And now I'm pretty comfortably at an hour in the mornings of doing that. And now, I mean, you don't need to do that, but just to kind of see how setting small and attainable goals to get you to your ultimate goal is really going to set yourself up for success. You really want to make sure you're setting goals that are attainable. You want them to feel easily attainable, but still like you're taking a step up from where you are, if that makes sense. And so tip number 4 is to, be compassionate with yourself and honor where you're at. If you do fall off track, don't beat yourself up over that. It happens to everybody. Even if you have a consistent practice, life happens. You get sick, you need to take a break. That's the other important thing too, is if to really listen to your body. Like, if movement isn't what your body really needs for the day, you don't make yourself do it. There's you could do breath work or a meditation, or just walk for a little bit if you want to do something, or it's okay to have breaks and rest. Your body needs rest as well. It's just a matter of being discerning about when you really need that and when you're trying to avoid doing the work. So just when you're working towards your goals, just be really gentle and compassionate with yourself. And when you fall off track, it's just get back up, brush yourself off. We just keep trying again. You can't, as long as we never give up, we can never fail. So as long as you keep picking yourself back up and moving forward on your journey, you're still moving forward. And as long as you're continuing to really commit to making the changes that you want to make in your life, you're going to be progressing and moving forward. And last but not least, certainly not least, tip number 5 is you need to create a lifestyle that supports the body that you want to have. So you have the body you have now because of the current lifestyle that you are living. There's no, magic pill or workout or diet that's going to just, change your body. It's ultimately, it's your lifestyle that is creating the body that you have right now, which also means you have the power to make the lifestyle changes you need to really have the body that you desire to have, and that feels best for you. And it's really important to understand, if you're not really willing to make lifestyle changes, you're not ready to have the body of your dreams, and that's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay to just honor where you're at with that. It's just it's a pretty firm truth. It's a lifestyle change when you want it's not you do a 12-week program and then bam, you're there and it's just there. You have to maintain your body and continue putting work and effort and love into it to sustain that level that you're at. And so a great way to get started is to really get clear on what you envision your perfect or divine body looks and feels like. Get really clear on that. Get really clear on the kind of lifestyle that you want to live and that will support the body that you desire to have. And then also get clear on where you're at right now. Like, just get really honest with yourself, and you can kind of look at where you're at and where you want to be, and then you can start making changes bit by bit. Don't just, remember back to our tip of, starting small, like setting attainable goals for yourself. If you're wanting to shift your lifestyle, you don't just, go over and just, it's there. You go bit by bit. And what I did when I was doing this, and I'm still doing this, of course, I'm by all means not there. We're still growing as well. But what I did is when I had my list done for where I'm at and where I want to be and the things that I want to be doing and what I'm doing now, I just looked at a couple things that I really wanted to. So I looked at each of my lists, and so on the list of the lifestyle that I want to live, I looked at, what are 1 or 2 of the most important things to me that I want to begin implementing right now. And I looked at my other list of where I'm at right now and what I'm doing, and I was like, what is 1 or 2 things that I really hate about like what I'm doing right now, what I really don't want to change. And then I simply replaced the things that I want to do with the things that I really didn't like. And so for me, that looked like my morning routine. I discovered that I hated my morning routine so much that I would continuously hit snooze on my alarm and, you know, be on the verge of being late to work, you know. And I discovered that I could just take the thing like yoga. So I do yoga in the morning. I do it in the morning now because I've implemented that as part of my morning routine, and so that helped me. That helped me a lot with that, and so it, you know, it doesn't have to be big drastic things, you know, just little by little begin replacing things as it feels good to you, and when you really feel firm and solid with the things that you have implemented, then you can start adding more and building from there. You know, remember, it doesn't all have to be done tomorrow. Like it takes a while to really build and sustain, you know, the kind of body that you want to have. And it's okay to really allow yourself to enjoy the entire process rather than trying so hard to just jump to the destination. Like the whole journey can be enjoyable. You know, you're not any less worthy because of where you're at right now. You know, it's really important to really love and accept yourself where you're at, while also accepting that you're continuing to challenge yourself and grow as well. All right. So those are my 5 tips to cultivating a consistent movement practice. I hope they helped you out, and that you enjoyed the video today. And so if you did enjoy it, please feel free to like and subscribe for you know, more content. You can drop a comment if there's anything you wanted to go deeper into, or any questions or anything like that. And with that said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.